Hello and welcome to Admit One, your movie and TV podcast right here on Rabbit Hole Media. I am one of your hosts, Jack Nedley Thompson, and as always and as usual, I'm joined by Kristian Lasham.
I have a question.
Oh, Lord above.
I have a question specifically about Gotham.
I see.
And Gotham, not just in this film, but Gotham as a city. Across all versions of Gotham I have seen in different movies, comic books, games, animated shows, etc.
Yes.
Why does not a single property in Gotham just have a standard light inside? Every single thing you ever see in Gotham, most of it's set at night, fine, I get that, fine, fair enough. No issues there. But they're inside a building and they'll just have these little lamps. You know, they're investigating a crime scene, they just got these little tiny lamps, all dark and dingy. Just put the fucking lights on. And they never have the lights on. It's like you'd see better. You would find your evidence better. Switch the lights on. None of them have lights. Never have none. It's weird. It's weird to me. Don't look so offended.
I'm not offended. I'm just confused as to why you're such a fool.
But what? How am I a fool?
It's Gotham, mate.
Man, that doesn't answer the question.
It does, though, doesn't it?
But it doesn't. It doesn't.
It does.
It's not.
You've answered why. The answer is Gotham.
No, that's not why. That's just the location. That's not an answer. Like, why is Gotham like this?
I would say, why is this area so shitty? London is the answer to that question.
That's not the same question.
Yeah,
if the question was why is
this place the way that it is? Because it's this place.
But
this place just is that
This is
way.
just like they don't seem to have lights. Why don't they have lights?
They can't afford them. Bruce Wayne has all the money.
See, now that's a more sensible argument. I'd give you that.
Bruce Wayne has all the money and no one can afford bulbs, which is why there's so many crimes.
See, Katie says they would kind of ruin the atmosphere of the film. I'm not saying it wouldn't. And it's not exclusive to this film. Every Batman thing, every time it's just dark, always dark. Fine, set it at night, fine. But they never have lights in their buildings. It's just always dark and dingy in every room they're in all the time. Switch the light on. It's a crime scene. You're looking for evidence. Turn on the lights. That's all.
I've decided Christian's an idiot. But anyway, we're here to talk about the Batman, if you hadn't noticed from the background, and my shirt.
And the lights. Hang on, do you want me to make this look like Gotham?
No.
I won't, because it will fuck everything up.
But this is Admit One, your movie and TV podcast right here on Rabbit Hole Media. If you like what you're doing, and what you're doing is watching us. Sorry, you've thrown me off completely with your nonsense.
It's not nonsense.
It is
you know
nonsense.
What is
it's
nonsense?
a film
They're
aesthetic.
not switching the lights on.
It's a film aesthetic.
I know it's a film aesthetic.
This is a man dressed as a bat. Your concern should not be bulbs.
It's not. It's the lack of bulbs.
His best friend is an alien.
It seems like they have no light fittings or anything.
His life, his other friend is an Amazonian.
All I'm saying.
He's also friends with a green man.
All I'm saying.
A man that could run through time.
They're much less likely to A, get snuck up on, and B, more likely to find murder evidence if they just switched on the bleeding lights. That's all I'm saying, and it's a valid point, and you know it.
That's disgusting, Charlie.
And that's I'm not even gonna elaborate.
I'm not gonna.
That is.
Yeah, COVID. They couldn't manufacture bulbs in Gotham. This is Admit One, your movie and TV podcast right here on Rabbit Hole Media. If you like what you're doing is watching us. You can follow us on Twitter at @rabbithole_UK. You can subscribe to us on YouTube and see us anytime that you wish.
Sold to the man at the back of the room.
Shut the fuck up! You can follow us on Twitch at Rabbit Hole Media, and you can subscribe and follow on multiple different podcast services on and around the internet.
Indeed.
And now you can follow us on Instagram at rabbithole_media_UK and on TikTok at Rabbit Hole Media for all the behind the scenes tits and bits. If you would like to support us, head to merch.rabbitholemedia.co.uk for a wide range of merchandise that recently got wider. And finally, if you're watching us live on Twitch and are an Amazon Prime member, you get one free Twitch Prime membership a month. Please find it within your hearts to give that membership to us. It doesn't cost you a penny, but goes a very long way in helping us bring you the shows that you love. The Batman.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What are your general thoughts, Kristian?
So, first of all, let me just write down this time code before I get lost. I thought that my opinion here was going to be I might be wrong. I thought my opinion was going to be pretty, like, kind of uniform with most people's. But as I've spoken to more people about this film and heard a few people's opinions, I'm starting to feel like I might be an outlier. But we'll find out this evening for sure, because I've deliberately been vague with conversations I've had and have tried to steer away from them. But so far, other than that one that's just come up there, I've seen a lot of people saying the opposite to me, which I thought this film was fucking excellent.
This film is excellent. I think anyone who disagrees is a clinical moron.
Yes, I totally agree. I loved it.
Who have you spoken to that didn't like it?
There was a couple of people at work. One of them gave it.
Fire them.
One of them put a comment like it was like one of them was like, "I'm going to see Batman tonight," and I was like, "Excellent." And one of them said 5 out of 10. I was like, "What? Get to fuck 5 out of 10? What are you on about?" And then he gave me some nonsense reasons as to why. Okay, it seems like. You see, because there was a brief...
No, it's the people you work with are fucking
morons.
morons.
Well. There was a brief chat in the Discord that had a minor implication that people might be a little bit like, not sure. There's a few like negative things being said, but I know it's easy to talk about the negatives, hence this show's existence.
Her name's not Molly.
No, what?
I think she's referring to your wife.
Millie, and no, it was like we're on a group chat with the people I work with. So Michael was the guy's name. I called him out in case he's watching. He's not. He's not.
Michael, you're a fucking idiot. Just show him that.
I will do. I'll clip it out and I'll just send it him. I honestly, I thought this film was fucking excellent.
This film is excellent.
I was engrossed the entire way through it. You said to me as we left, like,
I think I just hear your cat.
I think she's tidying her dinner.
I think she's just being a cat.
You said as we left something along the lines of there was a few bits that could be cut. I can't remember exactly what you said.
We'll get into it.
I didn't feel that watching it. That was obviously your second viewing. I thought it was really good. I don't have anything bad to say about the film. There's a few like small creative choices they made that I wouldn't have made. I would have maybe gone a slightly different approach, but that's just a case of a personal what I would have done as opposed to whether or not what they did was good, because what they did was still good and still worked. Mm-hmm. So it's not a critique. Just I might have done this. I would have liked to have seen this instead of this, which we'll get into. But none of those are a critique. It's just it's literally just me being picky. If I was to be really picky about something, as well.
If you were making this film, you would have done this. Not to say that you didn't enjoy what they did.
Exactly. Yeah.
No. There is definitely one of those that I want to get into as well. Again, it's not actually a criticism of the final product that we got. It's just odd to me, but we'll get into that in spoilers. I fucking love this movie. I will say out there, it's my favourite Batman movie.
I completely agree.
And also, it's not even close.
No,
it wasn't a difficult decision. It's not umming and ahhing. It's what's your favourite Batman movie? The Batman.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree with that. I said to Camilla, because Camilla asked me, because she didn't go. So when I got home, she said, "How was it?" And I said, "I think it was excellent." And she said, comparing it to the Nolan's ones, and I was like, blows them out of the water. I think blows them out of the water. And I think in a lot of ways, not in every way, we'll get into it, but in a lot of ways, I think the Riddler was leagues better than Heath Ledger as well. We'll get into it.
And
not in every way, but in a lot of ways, I think he was.
Mm-hmm. Tom said he's going the day after your birthday. As much as we love having you here, we are going to spoil the living shit out of it.
Yeah.
So if you feel you want to bow out, we understand, but we'll give you a warning before we start spoiling it, though. And also, yes, Tom, when is your birthday?
Now. I'm sure we're going to start spoiling it now. We've done the general thought.
There was Riddler in it. Yes.
Katie just saying that the Nolan films were good for their time, but this film is better. As we've just done from doing the Nolan films, I don't think the Nolan films are bad. I still don't.
No.
But this is just a whole nother level. And I think there's a lot of reasons to that. It's the approach they took, and the kind of tone being that much darker. They kind of took, for me, they kind of went, right, Nolan went, let's make a grounded Batman film. And now I'm going to go, let's make an actually grounded Batman film and like ground it even more and go darker.
I think this is less grounded than the Nolan movies.
I wouldn't. I guess it depends on how we're choosing to use the phrase grounded.
Absolutely.
Because I guess I could see that.
I imagine we're probably using it,
but we're using it for different reasons. I'd say, which we'll get into. We'll get into this then in a second. The whole grounded scenario, because I think that's just a case of semantics more than anything.
After the Star Wars spoiler, I've just learned to. What Star Wars spoiler? I don't remember.
The fact that he didn't know the major spoilers of Star Wars.
I see. I see. That's more impressive than anything. I should wear black more often. I look thinner. Anyway, that's an irrelevant thing. I was just ogling at myself on the camera.
But also, I think the film was just structured better. It was paced better.
Yep.
It was filmed exquisitely. Like some of the cinematography in this,
into that.
some of the cinematography in this film is outstanding, and the use of sound in this film, like not many films use sound well anymore, and. You know, we've spoken a lot on this show about sound and like, oh, there's a good soundtrack, or they've used sound well here, or this sound mix isn't good, or whatever. This is just like good use of sound throughout the entire film. It's really, really well done. I fucking loved it.
It's excellent. Excellent. It's a pretty funny reason as to why I have it. Yes, I forgot a shirt. I wasn't walking around shirtless all day.
Jack just turned up with his nipples out.
Again. Anyway, yeah, so let's before we do that, actually, Hannah says, I never noticed scores in films and I really noticed it and I liked it. That's actually a bit of a debate, really. What is the better film score? Something that you really like notice and it stands out and it's a good piece of music, or something that is so integral to the film that you just don't notice it's there. That's a bit of a debate.
Yeah, and I like those debates, but I think personally I find those debates always redundant because it's contextual depending on what it's trying to do every time.
For sure, but I mean, at the same time, I think it's also comparing different things. You're comparing a theme to a score.
Yeah.
I don't think they're the same thing.
I agree.
Like the Star Wars music that we all know as Star Wars is a theme. It's not the score of the movie. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a lot of scores will use the theme, but there is a theme and there is a score.
Yeah, and
I think the bits that everyone's we love the Indiana Jones score, we love the Superman score. Funnily enough, a lot of these are John Williams, but that's because he is excellent at themes. He is phenomenal. Superman, Indiana Jones, Star Wars. He did Jurassic Park. E.T.
Jaws.
Exactly. We all know
the original
these.
Harry Potter theme was originally him.
Was it?
Yep, he did the first one.
Oh, okay.
So the original motifs were written by him.
Yeah, well, fucking hell. Exactly. So these are all themes that everyone knows, but you wouldn't necessarily know the score.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the score is how all those different themes are threaded together and how it fits the movie. And I think an example of a good score is when the themes stand out at the right times and when the themes and the motives are memorable. Because they're supposed to be.
I think this does it as well.
This is excellent because there's only one motive from this film I remember.
Bum, bum, bum.
Which is the main Batman motive, and it's supposed to be memorable because it's recognizable. So the idea is every time it's used, it gives you that sense of something's happening because I know what this means. And the Star Wars does the same thing. Star Wars is a great example as a good score because it uses good bits of memorable music. We've just had the Obi-Wan trailer, which is filled with
Duel of the Fates,
which everyone recognizes as being
like Darth Maul.
It's Darth Maul, but Battle of the Heroes is also used, which is from the third film.
Which is him and Anakin. That is the music from him and Anakin,
yeah.
Isn't it? Yeah.
And they all have like these different references, which means I know this is this. Like you hear a little motif and you know this is.
I do now think Darth Maul was in this show.
Darth Maul's definitely in this show. They wouldn't have used Duel of the Fates otherwise, I don't think. But that's my point. Like these Rich remove.
Fight him.
Yes, I think it's good when you notice particular points and when you remember particular points.
Thanks, Rich.
Because I remember that the soundtrack in this is fantastic and it works really well, but that's the only motive I remember. I couldn't tell you what it does to the rest of the music. I couldn't tell you because it does what it needs to do for the film.
Absolutely. Hannah also said, I'm sure I'm noticing the score, not the theme. And not saying you're not. You probably did. But I was more talking about those arguments they're talking about different. Anyway, let's talk about the fucking Batman. That's what we're all here for and we're all excited to do. So, spoilers. Tomb, if you want to leave, it's now or never. Spoilers. Look, where shall we even fucking begin with the Batman? So I was just singing some jizz. Where should we begin?
I don't know where to begin because there's so much to this. There's so much to it.
What were your well, because we've already mentioned it, we'll start there. What was your thing that you would have done differently?
Tiny, really tiny little things.
Mm-hmm.
Like really tiny. You're going to laugh when I say this. I hated the wingsuit.
Okay, yeah. I agree and disagree. I like it from a... I get it.
Yeah, I get it. I get it and I understand it, and I don't really have a problem with it, but I would have... If that scene was just him actually using the cape and going down, I just went, hey, I would have enjoyed that more because it's Batman. That's the iconic Batman image, is him coming down with the cape and scooping with the cape. Going to the wingsuit was just a bit like, okay, I know what you're trying to do, but... It's not as cool as
in
a
that
cape,
way,
is
it's
it?
more grounded in the fact because obviously that wouldn't fucking work in real life. If you did this with a duvet cover or whatever, you'd be in trouble.
Like his inability to land as well, I kind of like, I get it, I get it, I understand it, and it works. It works.
He has an ability to land. He has a parachute. He just fucks it. He pulls the parachute at the wrong time and gets caught on the bridge.
But for me, I would have just liked to have seen the moment of him swooping down with the cape and nailing the landing and being cool cool Batman. But that's not the point of this Batman. Like, this Batman is supposed to be so much more grounded in the sense of he's just a guy. And I like that they played...
Katie said, in my head at that point, I had Jack saying, dead.
We did that a few times. I think we did.
I did. Yeah. I did, because now between us, this means dead. That's all. So in the cinema, there was a couple of occasions where I just...
There was a few where we both did it together.
Yeah, just... and that was one of them,
yeah
because he hit the fucking ground at like 100 miles an hour. I don't care if your suit's bulletproof, you've got whiplash. But fair, no, I do kind of agree. But it also, that... I don't mind the wingsuit, but it also kind of points out that there is no reason for his cape.
Yeah, his cape's just there for show.
So it's kind of like... Which, I understand why, from our perspective, you've just put it there for show.
Yeah.
But why would Bruce Wayne put it there if it's not practical?
Mm-hmm. No, I agree. These were the little issues I had. And they're so small. It's such a small issue.
Like, it doesn't bother me. I think I would be more like, why the fuck does he not have a cape?
Yeah, exactly.
I'd be more opposed if he didn't have a cape.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it was one of them. Yeah, I get it. It didn't, as you say, it was fine, but it's one of those weird things.
It was just a few things like that where, you know, the Batman in this was clearly played to be more, you know, someone said he was low tech. He didn't have all his really high tech stuff. He was just making stuff work because he was smart and he had a bit
gadgets,
of money.
But not tech.
Yeah. You know, and I liked that. I liked that it was a younger, sort of darker Bruce Wayne as opposed to being like, oh, look at me, I'm all cocky. It was just a little bit like emo Bruce Wayne. I liked it. I know that's not the normal take, but I liked seeing that difference.
It's been a take, so it's not...
It's just not the usual. It's just not what we normally see.
I was going to say it's not unique, but that sounds more like a criticism. It's not completely out of left field. Yeah. It's not something
exactly, which is why it all still worked for me. And, you know, there's scenes he had a backpack. He had a backpack. Like, there were scenes where he was off doing stuff, like, not... Like, as Batman, but not as Batman.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and
he was just Bruce Wayne. He didn't need the suit all the time.
Yeah, and you know, and as you said, like, we got an actual detective Batman, and all the fighting stuff was like, he's good. He's a good fighter, but he's not.
He can be overwhelmed by a group of people.
He's not this perfectly trained ninja, and
it's heavily implied that he was just trained by Alfred.
Yeah, and all these things were good. They were fine. They all worked, and I liked them all. But it did fall into what is my cardinal sin of any of these types of movies, which is I like to see the hero be badass. But we got so much of him still being badass and doing really cool shit, and this film really pushed in on what I liked about Batman Begins even more, in the fear. Like, the film is fucking creepy. Mm-hmm. Like, it's really creepy and uneasy from the beginning, and I love
that first scene is probably the most uneasy
and
that we've ever had in a Batman movie.
Excellent. It's excellent. And I love that they just pushed on that, and the idea that people are sort of scared of him still, and like, who is this guy? What the fuck's going on?
Well, that's what this whole movie is, really, isn't it? Is that he is vengeance.
I am vengeance.
So he's there to be scared. He's not there to be a hero. He's there to be scared. Feared. Sorry. He's there to be scared. Batman shows up. He's there to be feared, as opposed to be a hero.
Yep.
He's not there to save the innocent. He's there to
scare the criminals.
Yeah, he's there to fuck up the criminals, which is an element of why this movie works and how I think we're going to get potentially so much growth out of him as well. And I like the fact that he wasn't completely useful. One of my favorite Batman books is a very early Batman, like this is. And he's kind of fucking useless. Like, he almost dies most of the time. And a lot of the time in that book, literally Alfred shows up and takes the people out. Which is quite funny.
So that was the one other thing that I didn't like very much. I didn't particularly like Andy Serkis as Alfred.
And I don't like Andy Serkis.
Well, there's that. I thought it was fine. I thought it worked. But, and again, this is just me, because I know other people don't agree with this. I just really like Michael Caine as Alfred, and I
love Michael Caine as Alfred.
I just find it hard to see anyone else as Alfred, because I like
It's
him
a
as
different
Alfred,
Alfred.
but that's it.
It is a different Alfred.
And it still worked. It still works for the film. I just like Michael Caine.
Obviously Michael Caine was meant to be he's the old man butler, same way as in the Michael Keaton movies. Felt like Andy Serkis is too young.
I would agree, but it's a much younger Bruce Wayne, so it kind of works.
To be fair, not from Batman Begins.
True. Yeah, true.
But it's more. There are versions of Alfred that are much younger than we're used to, because he's not their butler. He does butlery things, but he's hired as security. He's hired as their bodyguard and like head of security and all that. He's there to protect them, essentially. He's ex-British Special Forces, and he's highly trained in the art of fucking people up. And that is clearly the version of
forms,
yeah, exactly. And that is clearly the version of Alfred that they've gone for. So I don't mind the age, but obviously that's a personal thing. But yeah, I didn't need to be Andy Serkis. Like, even the Alfred in the TV show Gotham was better. But yeah, I just don't really like Andy Serkis, so I would change that. So my thing, I only have one, really, that isn't completely nitpicky, and that is the Riddler. Because he is not the Riddler. And who they created as a villain already exists as somebody else.
In comic lore, you mean?
Called Hush.
Okay.
And they even so heavily imply that he is Hush. The journalist that they had killed, I can't remember his first name, Edward Elliot or something, is Hush's dad.
Right.
And they even... like Thomas Elliot is Hush, so on the building into that, one of Bruce Wayne's childhood friends, and they even, during that whole thing where they're talking about it, Riddler's thing, it even flashes the word Hush in big capital letters, and I'm just like, just make it Hush. Why is it the Riddler?
That is that's a marketing thing, isn't it? It's whatever.
Yeah, no, but we're in 2022.
No, this is fair.
Moon Knight is about to come out, for fuck's sake. We had Thanos as a villain. We've had...
Fair comment.
Marvel have done all of this shit and proven that you don't need to know who a character is. Like, it's Batman. You've got the marketing.
No, I agree.
Because it's fucking Batman. You could have done Hush.
I agree. I didn't have that problem. I didn't know that, but that's because I didn't have that. That's why I didn't have a problem, because I didn't know it. But I see your point.
Yeah, it was just weird to me. Like I say, it doesn't take away from my enjoyment of the movie. I think the Riddler in this movie is excellent, but I just don't know why it's not Hush.
Well, we know.
I guarantee that both you and Katie are right. It's that people know who the Riddler is, but just go with that.
That's the wrong decision, but
yeah, just go with Hush, because then people are going to know who Hush is.
Yeah,
like, it's that simple. And he was in Arkham City, and he's in loads of stuff. One of the most popular Batman stories in recent years is literally called Hush. Like, people know who he is. Not the mainstream, but people know who he is. And no one knew who the Riddler was until Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
No one knew well, everyone knew who the Joker was. But I actually know, probably the 60s show people.
Well, no one knows who any character is until it's introduced to a wider audience.
Exactly. So like, no one knew Iron Man. No one knew who fucking Iron Man was.
Well, yeah, you could say about most of the MCU and the characters we're getting aren't Shang-Chi, etc.
Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
Like, there's all of these characters, and just... I don't understand.
That's an area where... This is just an example of an area where DC haven't quite sussed it yet.
High-up execs from Warner Brothers getting fucking involved.
Yeah.
But it's really annoying, because that now means, like, you can't do Hush. Mm-hmm. Because
and it also
it's
means
been
you can't
done.
do the actual Riddler.
Yeah. You can't do Riddler proper. Although I will... So there are some bits that they've taken and added to the story that were done by Riddler in the comics. We haven't missed you, Charles.
For anyone watching later, Charlie's making awful jokes in the chat and we're ignoring him.
Trying to dissuade the behaviour. But there are things that happen within the story that have been taken, like the Riddler did them in the comics. It's the seawall thing was the Riddler. He did that. So they've taken. It isn't just even Hush is the way he looks is more. Riddler looks more like Hush than the Riddler. Sorry, I'm showing Kristian a picture of Hush. I can't find Hush.
Oh, Jack.
That's Hush.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Okay.
So the Riddler looks way more like Hush than the Riddler. But as you say, that there are elements of Paul Dano's performance that was fucking phenomenal.
I thought it was outstanding.
Yep.
I thought it was incredible. Incredibly twisted, with a strange element of innocence. Once you see his face, there's a strange element of innocence.
He has a baby face.
Yeah, but like he sells this kind of like... He does a really good job of selling just kind of like this mentally unwell...
It's pretty much all he plays. It's like the guy... He's in The Dark Knight Rises, but he's also in Ant-Man. He plays the Baba Yaga guy in Ant-Man, but he's the crazy guy that Harvey Dent almost kills in The Dark Knight. But he's very known as an actor who plays just creeps.
Yeah, I think it's excellent. I think
he is. Yeah,
so much that Paul Dano does in this film is so good. So that opening scene, obviously the one where he's killing the mayor. So
what an opening, by the way,
mate! Beautifully shot. Just like obviously the opening sequence is just you're seeing a prolonged like view of the binoculars, looking through, like following everyone in the flat with just that breathing, that diegetic breathing noise, so loud, so well done. It really puts you like in the position of this dude, and then you get this kind of weird like top-down angle of just like looking through a crack in the
skylight,
the skylight, which is just so good. It's so uneasy. Everything about that is just really setting up that tone early on. It's great. And then obviously with him just standing just behind him in the shadow. Again, if he'd switched the fucking light on, he would have seen him. Just there in the shadow. And you can just see it, but you can't really see him, but you can just see a vague, he's there.
You kind of see like a glint off of his glasses from the TV.
You can kind of just sense his presence, which when in a film you're able to just create the presence of something being there, like that's just really good filmmaking, and you can just sort of sense his presence if you know there's something else in the room with you, which is what, like, think about how often do you get that, unless it's just me, by the way, who's just creeped out all the time, when the house is dark, or you switch your lights off as you walk out the room or something, you could just maybe feel like I could feel a presence behind me.
That's the thing you do when you go downstairs for it wouldn't be downstairs for you in this scenario.
I have it when I go down to like lock the door or something.
Yeah. Well, you go to the fridge to get a bit of a snack, and then you turn the light off, and then you run.
Yes.
Walking normally, and then you turn the light off, and up.
Yeah, and there's that
safety of my bed. They can't get in here.
There's strange, uneasy presence behind you, and this film created that in that section. And then, as it then broke into him attack, just the noise the guy made as he like lunged at him. And he does it throughout the entire film with moments of just like these really uneasy yells and grunts of effort that feels twisted, and it's fucked up. Every single time it made me incredibly uneasy, but also so fixated on it. Even to when he's been captured and just like that weird like on the side smile and everything else, and when he's talking to Batman in the interrogation room, and as he's going through everything and starts having the
that scene is excellent.
The way he's having the breakdown and screaming and stuff is so good. And then the one towards the end, when it uses dialogue so well here, when he's failed and he's looked out and he's seeing that everything's gone wrong, and he's just in that room kind of just crying. The noise he is making is haunting, and the way it's used in the sound mix as well, it's treated as if it's non-diegetic sound, even though it is diegetic. I'm just using it to, just to keep Hannah going here. But it is.
I like McVitie's diegetics.
So do I. But it is treated in that way. It's treated as if it's like part of the soundtrack and the music. It's got loads of effects on it, and it's lower in the mix when that's not what it actually is. It's great. It's so uneasy and so haunting. I loved it. It was excellent. And that is why I'd say I think he blows Heath Ledger out of the water in a lot of ways. Because Heath Ledger's performance is fantastic. It is. But there's such a charm to it still. Kind of likable. I like this guy. I kind of like this guy. He's fucked up and he's twisted and he's scary, but I like this guy. This is just like haunting and uneasy and like fucking hell. And I think that's harder to capture. I think that's why I think he's better, personally.
Fair. I think they're very different. They're obviously hard to compare, but I completely agree. Like, as you say, some of the noises you managed to make, like I wouldn't even be able to try and do those. I probably could.
I wouldn't even have thought of trying it.
Well, that's the thing. And yeah, the creepy smile that he gets, but it's also like that's a really like innocent. Like he looks so innocent in that moment as well, which kind of makes it even worse.
Yeah, exactly.
Hannah says, Paul Dano's performance because he's still alive and we still think it outstrips Heath. There's a word missing in that sentence.
I think she means Paul Dano's performance is good because he's still alive and we still think it outstrips Heath. Because obviously we were saying about with Heath Ledger that we think we give him a bit of a bump because he's no longer with us and it was his last performance.
Yeah, obviously. And Katie says this was a 15-2 rather than a 12A, so they could do more disturbing stuff and push the character. Well, yes, absolutely. They can get further, but obviously they didn't know that at the time. Films don't get certificates until after that.
Yeah, I mean, they often aim towards something.
Yeah, absolutely. They obviously filmmakers know the criteria and what have you. There is a criteria, but it's for stuff like this. It's very hazy on what the criteria means. So obviously they don't know what they get given to the point where there's been interviews and stuff. Rob Pattinson didn't know this was a 15 in the UK, but it needed to be, and I'm so glad. Often studios will send it off to be rated. It gets too high, and they cull it back down, and you're just like, that's when you get dog shit. That's what happens. You get shit like Batman v Superman. I mean, nothing would have happened. There is an ultimate cut. That is the 15. It's still shit, so it's fine. But this, I'm so glad that it is. They didn't get cut. It didn't get pulled back. I mean, Matt Reeves is fantastic. Anyway, he did the. At least 2 of the Planet of the Apes.
Oh, okay.
I can't remember which 2. I think it was the second 2, but he might have done the first one as well. I can't remember. But they're also fantastic. They're also, like, just from a filmmaking point of view, they're really good. And, yeah, he's fucking stunning. And the writing as well of this movie is exceptional. Yep. Everyone in this movie is fucking exceptional. Even 100%. People you would never... Like... Matt Reeves has somehow gotten great performances from people that you would never say is a bad actor, but isn't known for being fantastic. Like the guy who played Falcone.
I think every single character in this was
fantastic. Was excellent.
Did exactly what he needed to do. I mean, we haven't really spoken about
any of them
other than Paul Dano yet, but like Robert Pattinson,
excellent.
Like I was not expecting that from. I remember when they announced that casting, and often I do feel this way. Whenever people announce whenever there is like a weird kind of like this kind of announcement, and there's always a reaction. Well, let's cast this person. That's gonna be shit. I hate making assumptions over castings.
So do I, because A, just because you haven't seen them do this performance before doesn't mean they can. B, people who are paid to find actors have seen him do this and gone, he is right for he or she, they are right for this.
Maybe they do fuck it up, but give them the fucking benefit of the doubt. So it always irritates me.
And to be fair, most of those people making, like, obviously people, like Rich and I were talking about this the other day, and obviously he wasn't particularly excited over the idea of Robert Pattinson playing Batman, but wasn't like, oh, it's going to suck, Anyone who was doing that had only seen Twilight.
Yeah, exactly.
Or more likely hadn't even seen Twilight. Just gone, Twilight. They hadn't seen anything else that he's done since then. By the way, he's pretty much excellent across the board, by the way, in literally everything. I've seen him in quite a few things now.
Also, like, regardless of your thoughts on Twilight, he's not the problem with it. Like, his performance in Twilight is very good. Like, he nails what that role needs to be. So, just whether or not you like Twilight, which is a different conversation.
Yeah,
but, like,
absolutely.
I remember when they announced that, I was just kind of like, okay, cool, don't mind.
Interesting.
Yeah, I was like,
I moved
we'll
on.
see what it's like. I mean, I've been a vocal about this on the show before. I haven't seen any of the Batfleck stuff, so I've got no kind of afflictions there.
But I will be honest, this has happened with every Batman.
Oh yeah, I know it has.
It happened with Michael Keaton.
Yeah, I know.
It happened with Christian
Yes, I know
Bale.
it
It happened with Ben Affleck.
Yeah.
Probably happened with Val Kilmer, and definitely happened with George Clooney. George Clooney was Batman,
But
ladies and gentlemen.
I thought he was excellent. I thought he was excellent as Batman. Every time he was Batman, I think he was menacing and he felt like he was in control, but had just a little bit of like uncertainty at the same time, which I really liked. And then as Bruce Wayne, like I said earlier, I liked this characterization of Bruce Wayne. I thought it was a bit different. And I liked it was a bit different, and I liked that he wasn't just this playboy dude. And he still had this kind of, you could tell it was the same character, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. Which I just think worked really well. I really like that.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the fact that he hasn't really worked out two personas yet. He essentially is Batman all the time.
Yeah.
Whether or not he's wearing the suit, he's just... Bruce Wayne isn't involved in this at the moment. So what we're really referring to when we say Bruce Wayne is he's just not wearing the suit.
Because that was another big compliment I had from this film was just how much of it was Batman.
Yep.
It was a Batman story, not a Bruce Wayne story. Mm-hmm. And I liked that.
Yeah, me too. I think we will get slight evolutions of Bruce Wayne as we go, but I don't think we're ever going to get into he's a playboy type thing. He'll probably just work out how to be a little bit more in the world, especially with the theme of this movie was him coming to terms with the fact that he can't just be a symbol of fear for the criminals. He needs to be more of a symbol of hope for everybody else as well.
And there was even an element of it 'cause when he went to the funeral, he was like, "Oh, we're getting an appearance from Bruce Wayne." He's like, "It's relevant for there to be an appearance from Bruce Wayne for this." So yes, so you're right. I think we will see more of it as he feels it's relevant. But I think that worked really well, and I liked that. Just as a offshoot of that, I liked that it was one kind of contained story and mystery as well, as opposed to just all these different threads they were trying to throw together, which is what the Nolan films started to do a little bit.
Absolutely. And I will say, I think this universe, just because that's what everybody says these days, can grow, but I still think it will stay within the confines of Batman. Like, I don't think Superman or anyone like that is showing up at all, ever.
To be honest, I'd be quite happy if they just made this one and then did something else that wasn't this anymore.
That's not happening.
I know it's not happening, but I'd quite like that just because it was good. Just cool. This is just sometimes it's nice.
It was good, but you just know that I would rather we got as the Batman 2 than another Batman.
This I'm okay. Yeah, that was, I see.
See, and Rich brings up what I really fucking want them to do and do it right. Robin. You could do Robin so well in this. Well, Robert Pattinson's young, so you would need to make Robin actually young for it to stand out, as opposed to in the Batman Forever and Batman and Robin where they cast a 96-year-old man to play a teenager. But they need to but you could cast like some really young someone that popped to mind would be like number 5.
Oh yeah,
from Umbrella Academy.
To be fair, that kid's excellent. Put him in anything, that's fine by me.
Oh yeah.
He is also one of these. You're too talented. Everything, go away. Stop being good.
Oh,
I hate you.
Yeah. Because he's a musician as well.
Yeah.
He's a bastard.
Yes.
He's also really fucking smart.
Yeah, I know. I hate it.
He's one of those because he's like a.
As you said,
advocate. He's like advocates on loads of boards and stuff. He's an incredibly smart kid. But anyway, you can have him because the concept of Robin is fucked up. So really, to get the point of Robin across, you need a world like this.
Yeah.
That they've made in the Batman. And you could do that so well. You could bring out, you could do it so well. And if they build a world or whatever, spin-offs and stuff from the Batman, you could eventually develop that into Nightwing and then new Robins and then build up all these characters. It's the one reason why I'm really fucking annoyed that they fucked up the DCEU. Because they could have gotten to Robin and Red Hood and shit like that. All the cool shit. They haven't got there yet because some wank stain at Warner Brothers went, no, you need to do this. I've never made a film in my life. But you need to. Why is the concept of Robin fucked up? Because he's taking 10-year-olds and training them how to beat the living shit out of people. Like Robin in the comics is he's like 10. He's like in all the films he's older, but he is very young. There's also a problem in like the 40s and stuff where he just made him wear nothing but green Y fronts and a red shirt. Yeah, he's really young, and there's many different versions of Batman, Robin, all within continuity because they grow up and move on, and then he gets a new one. Mm-hmm. The most recent one is his actual son.
Didn't know that.
Damian Wayne.
Anyway, just sticking with like some of the characters we were saying. Jim Gordon.
Excellent. Jeffrey Wright, excellent.
Yep.
Like, he's always excellent. Like, he's incredible. But I don't know why we always feel the need to not just start with him as commissioner.
Yeah, it's a weird thing, but
like every time. Why? I don't understand. But fine. It doesn't make a difference, but at the same time, it's odd.
His role in this film, again, was excellent. It worked really well. The way they used him was excellent. Kind of this idea of he's the only one that trusts Batman, and he will put himself in the firing line just to help Batman.
That's very true to
very
what
true to the
Batman
character,
is,
but
yeah.
I think they use that really well in the film. They execute that very well.
He's not only the only one who trusts Batman, it's the only one... Batman is the only one he trusts.
Yes.
Just quickly, Katie said, are they always as young? Is Batman actively recruiting 10-year-olds? They're all young. I think Jason Todd the second Robin was a little bit older, but he was still like 12, 13. Mm-hmm. Like, he just takes in kids and he takes in orphans, essentially, which is why he does it. They're all orphans.
Obviously,
other than his own son, obviously.
Zoe Kravitz.
Excellent. Catwoman in this was phenomenal. Catwoman is really easy to fuck up.
Yep.
And they have done multiple times. Obviously, the Catwoman movie.
Halle Berry.
Yeah. Awful movie. One of the reasons it took till 2007, it took another 13 years for them to do another female lead superhero movie because stupid sexist executives would go, this movie didn't make any money, no one wants to watch them. And no one stood up and just went, well, no one wants to watch shit. It's got nothing to do with it. But fine, you be an old white man. But anyway, and Anne Hathaway was fine.
Leave my girlfriend out of this.
There was no reason for her to be Catwoman.
Leave my girlfriend out of this.
And she stole a couple of things.
Stop saying bad things about my girlfriend.
Shut the fuck up and try to make a point.
I'm standing up for my girlfriend.
She's not your girlfriend.
She is in my
She has no idea you exist, Chris.
She might do.
But no, Zoe Kravitz was excellent in this movie, I think.
As you said as well, Falcone.
Really good. Also really good. Even smaller roles like the DA in the club. Penguin. Oh my! Can we talk about the Penguin's makeup? His prosthetics. Mm-hmm. Fuck me. Are they good?
Yep.
Like, you would know. There were people on set who didn't recognize who that was. Mm-hmm. That's madness. Madness. And how is that Colin Farrell?
I know.
I don't understand.
Do you know what my favourite bit was with the Penguin?
The bit where he was tied up.
The bit where they left you tied up. He waddled like a penguin. Thoroughly enjoyed that.
Yeah, I think the Penguin is excellent as a sub-character. And normally I would hate all the nonsense that we already know there are spin-offs coming.
Yeah.
But to be fair, like, it's Penguin. I'm happy to fucking watch more of Penguin. I'm also happy to watch more of Jeffrey Wright as Gordon. So I'm kind of like, oh, I'm supposed to be annoyed. But at the same time, I'm also happy that they're doing some expansion of the world outside of the movies, so you can kind of take some jumps and not need to worry about all of that in like a sequel movie. You can kind of just jump because that's been established. So you can just take this information as assumed knowledge, and that way you're more likely to get somewhere like Robin. Basically, I want Robin because how, like, in a world like this, you could make it so fucked up. You can point out how fucked up it is. There are many versions of Batman where it's well established that he is a piece of shit. Mm-hmm. Like, he is not a good person. There's a show at the moment called Titans, which is mainly about Nightwing. So the first Robin, but Jason Todd's there as well. Tim Drake, the third one, he shows up. But it's mainly just that he's a piece of shit that just does this again and again and again and doesn't learn, even though like Jason Todd is murdered by the Joker and Tim Drake gets just fucked, and Barbara Gordon, Jim Gordon's daughter, gets paralyzed by the Joker, and all this over and over and over and over and over again. So you could really lean into that. You could make the whole film about the fact about there's Robin. Anyway, I'm going to talk about the film we actually got.
Can I ask you, going back to the beginning?
Yes.
The grounded versus non-grounded thing.
Mm-hmm. So I think it's less grounded because there's more fantastical stuff that he does.
That Batman does. Like the whole gliding thing and surviving that, the whole car chase stuff. There's some maneuvers that are a bit, okay. In the Batmobile, he's way more acrobatic to a point where like that seems a bit above human. The level of bulletproof his armor is, despite the fact that his head is clearly just rubber, and they even kind of point that out when he takes it off, and it's just completely malleable. Just different bits like that, like the way he's using the zipline and flipping around things and doing things and just taking hard impact after hard impact. Yeah, and obviously like his grapple claws seems like those things don't work. Those things aren't strong enough to pull a human, but he was using it to zip line over.
Well, it depends how strong the motor and the cable is, I suppose.
They did it on Mythbusters.
Okay, but if you just got a stronger motor and stronger cable,
you can't get a motor that small.
He's Batman.
That's strong enough. You'd have to have like this big thing that's clapped on your whatnot, and then you wouldn't be able to shoot it very far because the cable.
But how long ago was Mythbusters? Like 20 years ago.
I reckon you couldn't do it. I really like making Jack squirm.
I'm not squirming. I'm just saying Mythbusters is outdated.
You're outdated. No, fair. All fair comments. I think maybe I used the word grounded wrong. But for me,
grounded means grounded in reality, realistic.
Yeah. For me, it was a case of where the realism came in. It was to kind of like the way people were being beaten and killed and treated, and the way all that stuff was done was felt more grounded. But then maybe I'm just using the word grounded wrong.
Well,
I think darker.
Well, yeah, it's darker. Grounded and darker don't have to be the same thing. They're not mutually exclusive. And
that's what I mean. I feel like I'd probably used grounded inaccurately.
Yeah, I definitely think it's a bit more fantastical, and I prefer that because otherwise, kind of what like in the Nolan films, I do kind of feel like what was the point of Batman? Like,
I agree with that.
He didn't really have a purpose. He was too he's meant to be above human, and we get a bit of that in Batman Begins where he just uses his training to just fuck with people's heads more than anything. Like, yes, he's very well trained in fighting, but put enough guys there, you're going to beat him.
This has that as well, though.
Yeah, no. But I mean, yes, but also he takes a shotgun blast to the chest and is just largely fine.
Yes.
But in Dark Knight Rises, he get beaten in a one-on-one. He's like in Batman Begins, they use he's coming from the shadows, but like they utilize the fact that he's human. He's just trained, so he uses his training. But then in the next two, you're just like, what is the point of Batman?
Yeah, which we've made those.
Yeah, exactly. But in this, it's like I understand the point of Batman. Yeah, he's using the fear and the tactics, but he can also like fuck up a group of people completely easily, but not to the point where it's too ridiculous, like Batfleck, but who just straight murders people. But in this one, I like the fact he doesn't kill anyone, and I saw a lot of people saying that this is the first time Batman isn't directly responsible for anyone's death since 1995. It's not true. Watching this again the other day, I saw his maneuver where he moved someone's gun, it then shot the guy behind him. It's like, yeah, he didn't pull the trigger, but I would class him as directly responsible. But I like the fact that he kind of like, yeah, I'm not going to kill anyone, but if you kill him, I'm not going to particularly care. And also, like...
He also has no problem in maiming people. Like, he shoots his grappling hook through people's legs.
I don't think he specifically states that he'll never kill anyone either.
No,
he just doesn't.
There is a no guns comment.
There's no guns, yeah, but if he accidentally, like, if he slipped while grappling hook and got them through the face, I think he'd be like, well, that's a shame.
Yeah. The grappling hook, almost got blood on
Oh
it.
no, actually, with Catwoman, he does say twice, don't kill them.
Oh, yeah.
He prevents her from killing someone.
Yeah, but he stops her from killing Falcone and stuff.
Falcone, and then that cop on the top where the bat signal is, she kicks him off. Also, that was telegraphed a mile away. You could prevent that before she does the kick while she's slowly lifting her leg. There is one reason you would put your foot on someone's chest when they're tied up, and that is to kick them over. That is the one reason that is useful. It says, I did like the don't throw your life away. Don't worry, I've got 9 of them. I like that line. It's good.
Because she's a cat woman.
Yeah.
Part cat, part woman.
I do feel some of them, this one didn't, but a lot of versions of Catwoman lean too far into the cat thing. It's like, she's not meant to be a cat, she's meant to be a cat burglar.
Yeah.
They're different. Cat burglars aren't like
this one
jewelry heists committed by felines.
This one was she's a cat burglar and she happens to have cats. It was pretty much what this one was.
And she was very agile and
Yeah.
and she had tiny little points in her ski mask for some reason.
I liked it. It's fine.
I liked it as well. Hannah made a comment about Zoe Kravitz being exceptionally attractive earlier, which is definitely true.
I don't get the Zoe Kravitz thing. Not that she's not unattractive, not at all. But also
Zoe Kravitz.
You're saying, you're trying to hurt me.
I am, but she is infinitely more attractive than Anne Hathaway. I'm just putting that
Also, I don't like this kind of objective thing we've got going on the channel right now. This is very not us.
What do you mean objective?
Don't like it.
What do you mean
We're just objectifying women now, and I'm not.
Oh, okay, so you used the wrong word entirely. Objective and objectifying don't mean the same thing.
Oh, fuck you. Those words are close enough. They both start with objective. They both start like that, and then one of them just says "fying" at the end. Close enough. Fuck you. We love Anne Hathaway and Zoe Kravitz equally here at Rabbit Hole Media because
Between us, yeah. What were we saying? I was. Hannah says, to be fair, I'm a woman, and I was also objectifying Zoe Kravitz. What was he saying before I was being
I don't remember.
a shitty human being? Oh, kicking him off the
Murder, yeah.
Murder. But yeah, he's definitely responsible for a lot of murder. Oh, the whole electricity thing at the end was also why it's a bit less grounded.
Oh, yeah.
I did love the fact that the bat was a knife.
Yep.
Oh, excellent suit design. Well played. He just put it away the first time. I was like, oh. It's a knife! very excited, very giddy. It's talking about very excited, very giddy, very solid, very aroused. The Batmobile.
Yeah, I loved that.
Oh my! I've always said I'm a muscle car guy. So if you take like what looks to be like the shell of like a 70s Camaro or whatever, and just strap some body armor and a fucking jet engine to the back of it and call it a Batmobile, Daddy, take me. Like, good Lord, I was just in from the moment.
No, I loved the Batmobile, and I like that chase sequence as well.
That chasing was excellently shot.
Yep.
Excellently shot.
After watching a whole bunch of Fast and Furious, which is obviously particularly like
It's very stylized.
very stylized, but just seeing like kind of like, but if anything, just having loads of car sequences in me recently. Very well shot. Very well shot.
Just shot differently as well.
Yeah.
Like
A few kind of like, the film had this throughout, a few kind of predictable moments and twists. But okay with them. We'll get to those actually in a minute. But I loved the thing where obviously the ramp fell down for him to go through the explosion. And I kind of liked how long they held it on Penguin before he came through. I've just really...
They actually did that, by the way.
Did they?
They
Nice.
jumped the Batmobile through fire.
But just give it like, I really liked how they just held on Penguin for such a long time, really just allowing the Penguin just to think he's like, yep, it's been a while, he hasn't come yet. I have nailed this. Ha 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 ha. He's still not here. Oh, he's still not here. Oh, there he is. Excellent. Like,
just quickly, Hannah has said, why when the city is flooding would you get people together in a stadium which is set into the floor? They did mention...
it's supposed to be the last defense for the city.
It's the last defense. It's also on the highest ground.
Yeah.
So that it's inset into the floor, but it's atop slopes, essentially.
And they also, like one of the police said, like it is the last defense of the city.
But it's meant for a hurricane. It's not meant for this.
Not a seawall break.
Yeah.
So.
You resent that you missed the inside. Why? How? No. It was excellent. Not to rub it in, but it was excellent. Probably my favourite shot in the whole film is from Penguin's perspective, upside down, just having Batman coming towards you from the flames and the Batmobile part behind him.
There was a few
pissing
moments.
it down. I'm gonna get that GIF, and it's going straight in the wank wank.
There was a few moments where they had just slow shots of just him walking.
He
slowly out of
is
shadow.
the most intimidating Batman we've ever had.
Fucking excellent. Like, because even the first one with the gang, the first time you see him. And it just goes to that dark corridor, and it's just doing boom, 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 and he's just walking out. He just walks out slowly, and it's really fucking good. And they do that a few times. They do it there as well, of just him slowly walking towards someone. It's like fucking hell.
I would leave.
Yeah.
Well, actually, no. I would leave my body.
Yeah.
I would.
So would many poos, I imagine.
Yeah. I'll be dead. Like the cop at the beginning when he's going to the crime scene for the mayor's murder.
Yeah.
And Batman's walking through, very well, completely well done, but just the first person perspective falling through and everyone looking at him. The guy put his hand up, like. The way Batman looked at him in that moment, I would retire, I would move country, and change my name.
I would remove my own hand and give it to him.
So, I'm very sorry
This is yours
for my
now.
insolence. I think I was told off for saying wank bank earlier, but
Wank bank, wank bank, wank bank.
now he's just being childish.
We've said worse. That's all I'm saying.
It was more in context than the actual words, I think.
Everyone has a wank bank.
I'm sorry, Rich. I didn't mean for this to happen.
No,
Charlie. I now can't read the comment I was going to read out because of your fucking nonsense.
To be fair, I'll wank your bank is better than I'll bank your wank, isn't it? Just keep this in a safe. Sorry.
I'm very sorry, Richard. When I made a joke about being told off, this is not what I wanted to happen. I thought I was going to make the joke and then it would be done. It would be moved on.
Sorry. Yeah, see, you're still there now. We can move on. It's fine. I blame this on you.
Huh? Loved the callback to that officer when... Oh, yeah, where he's very excited about Bruce.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's very much a Flash with Peter and Spider-Man.
So, did you have the same predictable moments I had? There's a few plot points
I don't know.
predicted. So, I predicted them early, or spotted them early, I should say. So, the idea that the Joker's third target was going to be Bruce Wayne.
Riddler,
idiot. Was going to be Bruce Wayne. Mm-hmm. That was fucking clear as soon as he said...
All of that stuff with the Waynes is directly from Hush as well. Anyway.
Okay. So, like, that first clue, but he's reading it on the screen. He's like, oh, here's a riddle you need to solve to work out the next target is. And it's something about growing up in a mansion. As soon as he said that, I was like, it's Bruce Wayne. The target's Bruce Wayne.
Oh, the riddle. Yeah, I thought that was really weird because I just went, oh, it's Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
Especially when he went, orphan.
Yeah.
It's an orphan.
Bruce Wayne.
This is Bruce Wayne.
It's very obviously going to be Bruce Wayne.
Maybe he was just doing that so he didn't just go, it's me.
Perhaps.
And then Gordon's like, Wayne? Anyway.
Yeah, there was also a bit with when he found the map under the carpet. Mm-hmm. He's then watching this video.
His Instagram Live.
His Instagram Live, which I thoroughly enjoyed. I really enjoyed that. Thanks to this community, it meant so much to me.
I was annoyed that this man had more followers than we do, and he's a psychopath.
I am annoyed that everyone has more followers than we do. I think we make fantastic content. And we deserve better. Not that we deserve better. We deserve more. You are all adequate. No,
adequate.
You are all... Shit, help me, Jack. Help me. I am.
We love you all.
Thank you. Okay, clip it. Apparently, don't know what I clipped, but I've clipped it.
You just failing miserably, I think.
My life is me failing misery. Fucking Jesus.
You were trying to talk about how good we are at podcasting, and you can't even speak. Which is the ironic moment. The ironic.
There was something.
Well, guys, how does it feel to be thoroughly mediocre? I wouldn't know.
We haven't reached that level yet.
I was going to say, we're not that good.
Particularly disappointing. Got that nailed. But there you go.
You were in the middle of saying something before you had a complete breakdown.
What? The carpet. He found the map under the carpet. There was something. As soon as he revealed the map under the carpet, I was like, well, the map's going to clearly show where his like next thing is or something. And it took him a while to work out to look at that map. And I was like, I would have first gone, there's flashing lights there. They clearly mean something.
Well, I don't think it was not what his plan is. It was more... He doesn't know what the plan is.
For sure.
As opposed... Because those flashing lights, he might have left hot dogs around. Maybe they're merging in the Condiment King as well.
I thoroughly enjoyed the scene where he's interrogating him in the prison cell. Mm-hmm. Bruce Wayne.
Oh, yeah, the heavily implication that he knows it's Bruce Wayne. But he's not.
Yeah, it's so good the way it's done because he's just like really creepy, like, Bruce Wayne, and you can just see like this fear in his chin because you can't see the rest of his face. And then just we need to stop Bruce Wayne. It was he said like it's such a good.
It was the one that got away or the one we didn't get. Yeah.
Really, really good. I love that whole idea of him just like, no, we've been doing this together.
Oh, yeah.
What are you on about? He's like,
brought him into the light, the things I couldn't do. Like, my strength is up here. I can't go in and kill a man in the height of his security in his own club. But that's where you come in. He's like, what the fuck are you talking about? I didn't do any of this to you. I'm an idiot. That's all that's happened here. Is I'm a fool.
Yeah, that was the other thing. He's like, oh, you're not as smart as I thought you were. And it's him disappointed that you're not actually very intelligent. Like... very good. But the other like really predictable thing, and everyone would predict this, and this is another thing I don't like they did was just what I don't like that they had to just focus so much on another love story with Catwoman. Mm-hmm. Like, do they have to be a love interest every time? I know the character is a love interest otherwise, but do that in the next film or something. Like, do we have to have this?
She probably won't be in the next one.
True. But,
she's gone.
But
she can go back.
They haven't known each other very long.
That's the whole thing. That's with Catwoman. It's like Black Cat and Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Literally, they don't really. They
just have a thing for each other.
Yeah.
Kind of like
just
when
have the hots. Exactly. Kind of that. They're just weird. Don't know your name. Do things to you.
Yeah.
That's what I did day one at game.
I remember.
GTA 5 fell off the shelf.
Such a weird choice again.
It's the only one that I knew for a fact was out.
Fair enough, to be fair. The logic there is actually really good.
Yeah. That didn't bother me too much because obviously I've read a lot of Batman and that's just always the thing.
I know that is just the thing. I just would have liked to have just not had it.
No, that's fair enough.
I didn't feel like I needed it. I would have been quite happy if they just went, well, that was fun, thank you.
So you
off we go.
You brought up the fact that I said some stuff could be cut. It's the last 8 minutes or so.
Right. When they have their
no prejudice, bike just chop it all off. Anything from... So it should have ended on the roof where he's sending that woman up in the air ambulance.
Yep.
That scene, and he's talking about the hope. After that bit of narration, it should have just been
And
End.
because it's a nice ending line there.
So, yeah, exactly. It's a nice ending line, and also everything else just feels like post-credit scenes, or that whole conversation with Catwoman going off to Bloodhaven.
Yeah, I mean, because that was the whole other bit. They had this kind of moment where they went off and went a drive together and stuff.
And that's how the film ended. That was weird to me. It didn't
Yeah.
need any of that. And also, the thing that made me the angriest in this entire movie was fucking Joker.
Okay, cool. We're there. Good. I was waiting to get to that.
It annoyed me, honestly. Like, this film was 10 out of 10 in every other regard, and then it had to be Joker. It couldn't have been a tease for a different villain. It had to be Joker. And I was like, I really don't want Joker. I want them to do an entire trilogy. Trilogy would be nice if they just did the 3, and then... Oh yeah, I've repressed the post-credit scenes to the point where I made him not watch it.
Great.
I was just like, there is a post-credit scene. We will be angry, and then told him what it was, and he was like, yes, I would have been angry. So say we get a trilogy of these, as usually seems to be the case, but it seems like a fair bet. I don't want Joker to be in any of them.
I agree. I don't need to see more of the Joker.
Tim said, what was it? The post-credits scene is... There's a scene earlier in the movie where Batman and the Riddler are communicating with like a black screen and green text, like very basic instant messaging. The post-credits scene goes... It just comes up with that, says goodbye, and then there is a link to a real-world website. I've never left angrier in my life from the from the cinema, to the point where... The film ended, and I said, I need to find a bridge, very loudly in the cinema. Because they were also the longest credits I've ever sat through in my life.
Oh, that's very funny.
Yeah.
I hope someone in the cinema got a chuckle out of that.
What was it? Was it with you, or was it with Acer?
It was with me when the bloke behind us for the trailer for Nope.
Oh, yeah! I can't remember exactly what I said, but someone behind me said, who's Jordan Peele?
And you went, who's Jordan Peele? Sacrilege.
It's outrageous. Like, I was hoping it was loud enough for him to hear.
I'm sure he did.
Who's Jordan? I was like, who's the Queen?
I literally had the same conversation with Camilla yesterday, because we were talking about creepy stuff, whatever, and I was saying about there was a trailer for this film called Nope, which is directed by Jordan Peele, and she went, who? I was like, but there's more.
Sorry,
to it.
but even if you don't like, sorry, carry on.
More to it, and I was like, Jordan Peele. You know, you must know who Jordan Peele is. You know, from the comedy duo like
Key and Peele.
And she went, "Do you mean Key and Pele?" No, it's definitely Peele. She was like, "It's Pele." I was like, "Absolutely not. You're making it worse for yourself. It's Peele." She was like, "It's not. It's Pele." It's like Peele. It's Peele. It's not Pele.
Also, just watch an interview with Jordan Peele refer to himself. It's Peele. Key and Peele. Michael Keegan Key and Jordan Peele.
You went Swedish for a second.
Pele. Oh, excellent.
But I think she thought it was P-E-L-E.
Oh, yeah, okay, fair enough. But no, there's a 30. There's a 30. But yeah, I'm actually quite looking forward to Nope. I really like Get Out, and I really like Us.
I'm not watching that.
That's fair. That's fair. You don't have... That would just be a for me film.
Oh, I forgot the thing. It's fine.
What thing?
The thing we have to announce today.
Yeah, I had remembered.
I had forgotten until now, but we haven't planned it all. We'll do it on the spot.
Jorgen Pele.
Jorgen Pele.
Director of Get Out. and Oos.
And Noppy.
Nope.
Anyway.
Back to the film. I want to talk more about the cinematography and stuff. You know what it is, Rich, so don't worry. You know what it is. We've spoken to you about it before. Announce was the wrong word.
Yes. Well, I could do the other one again. For those that didn't see it.
We can do that at the end as well. We'll do that at the end, if you've still got a button for it.
I do, because I put effort into that.
Excellent. So we'll do it again. I want to talk cinematography at...
Do you know what would have made the lighting better, Rich, if they'd fucking turned them on? They would have seen the bloody footprint on the floor. Not the footprint, the place where the thing was, where the carpet thing was. They would have seen it.
He did see it.
He did. The rest of them fucking didn't.
Yeah, but this is a
Switched
Batman
them on,
movie.
they would have
This is a Batman
seen it.
movie, not Random Forensic Photographer 2, Electric Boogaloo. The lighting and all the cinematography in this was fucking excellent. I really want to talk about another scene that's going into a particular bank. I won't say it again. Is the scene that I actually gave Hannah a warning about before she watched the movie. Was the scene where he's coming up the hallway, pitch black, and it's only muzzle flashes. Which, again, they actually shot that, which is insane.
Also, why it probably looks so good.
Yeah, and
That, like, you're right. Excellent, and I think also that leans in on that stuff we're saying I like about the Batman Begins. You're leaning in on seeing him in the shadows and seeing him be fucking like creepy and uncomfortable, and why he's scary and why they fear him. Give me more of that, because that's fucking excellent. This is what I said this about Batman Begins, and I said why I think it was the best of the three, because it was pushing on that stuff, and I like it. And if they give me more of that, I would have liked the other ones more. It's probably why I like this one as much as I do. So it just gave me that fucking tenfold, and then gave me that with the villains as well. Like, excellent, more of it.
yeah, I completely agree, and I hope they get that this time. So like, a sequel doesn't do what The Dark Knight did and move away. Well. I really hope they stick to this, because this is shot excellently. But yeah, there's a few interviews where him and the stunt guys were saying that that fight scene was like the hardest thing in the fucking world, purely because they had to do choreography in a fight scene in the fucking dark. There wasn't a single light on the set. It was like Matt Reeves like trying to find his chair with his phone and stuff like that. It was pitch black, and it was entirely just on-camera muzzle flashes, and that's fucking insane. As you say, it's probably why it looks so good, and I think that was one of my favourite fucking shots of all time. Not quite the upside down from the car, raining fire, Batmobile. I was just like, Batman!
So Richard also stepped on something there interesting. Having a base knowledge of photography, I have no idea how they did the lack of light so well. And
expensive cameras.
Expensive cameras, but even like cameras work in light. Cameras don't work without light.
But obviously, you can get cameras that can do it better with less light.
Absolutely. But yeah, doing that is very
also
difficult.
would have been toned down in post.
Yeah, there'd be a lot that would have been made a lot darker in post. But it is hard to do. And yeah, it's very impressive.
Just turning the brightness down looks shit.
Yeah.
You have to be able to do it properly. And you need low light to begin with, because
and you need
well lit darkened doesn't look the same as
you need low light, but
light.
you need the right type of low light. That's the thing, because the scene needs to be still lit well enough still so the camera can pick up the details, but not lit so brightly that it's bright. Like, it's fucking confusing shit.
Yeah, no, cameras are, which is why our lighting goes all over the fucking place, because cameras get fucked by lights. So yeah,
this is a DSLR, so it's not designed to handle light particularly well.
No, and we would not be able to film the Batman on this. On this, it would just be a blurry, grainy, dark mess.
Yes.
Oh, maybe we should have done the Batman then, because we could have gotten away with it. We could have just filmed a darkness.
But it's like our bad guy video.
Mm-hmm. It's
Like,
really dark. Yeah.
Really dark, but then consequently very grainy. Mm-hmm. And then other videos we filmed with the same camera
aren't that at all.
Aren't like that at all, because it's the way, it's all to do with lighting and then what the camera can handle and what the lenses can handle and stuff. So
it's all very expensive and clever and technical, and I don't know. It's also a perfect example of, you get a film like this. This is a film that can only happen when a director knows his role, and also knows that other people are better in other departments than he is. Yeah, so I gave you that description and didn't really think about how many times he was in a lift.
Yeah, there was a lot of video game loading sequences.
There's a lot of, because I forgot that he was in a lift every time he went to the bat signal, which was every 8 minutes. So I do apologise. I did say a lift at the end of the hallway, though, to be fair. Not at the top of a construction site. So I'll still fight for victory on this one, even though I know I'm absolutely wrong. Because that's how stubborn I am. But yeah, he clearly knows that the cinematographer knows what he's doing, and he knows what he's doing better than Matt Reeves knows. And the same with people in charge of lights and people in charge of sound. He lets them do their job.
Lets them do their jobs, but I imagine also
within collaboration.
Yeah, works with them as a team correctly.
Exactly. Like, this is what I want. How do we get that? And then lets them do it. It doesn't. Like, otherwise you just get things like fucking Batman versus Superman. Because it's just people interfering all the time. People who don't know what they're doing, or a director who thinks he can do everything. Zack Snyder is not a good director. He's a fantastic cinematographer. Exactly what Hannah said. Zack Snyder should just make films look nice for people instead of making films. Exactly. He's not a good director. He doesn't know how to tell a story. The film people keep bringing up as like Zack Snyder can direct a good story is Watchmen, which is like panel for panel, shot for shot taken from the comic. Like, it's not original at all. Someone else wrote his fucking film and he just made it with a camera. Like, he's a fantastic cinematographer. He's an awful director. This is why Zack Snyder's Justice League is still shit. Just slightly less shit than Joss Whedon / Zack Snyder's. But Matt Reeves, is a fantastic filmmaker, but yeah, it's so clear that he's trusting everyone to do their part on set. Like, there is not a performance in the world like Paul Dano's that happens because a director wanted it. That is a director telling the actor, like, this is the character, this is where he's coming from, what their motivation is, it's just, this is your character, and then the actor going, well, this is how I interpret that. And then you get the Riddler. And then you get Heath Ledger's Joker. Things like that. I have seen Prisoners. He is also excellent in that, along with Hugh Jackman and Jake Gyllenhaal. Everyone.
Hugh Jackman. Mm-hmm. I love Hugh Jackman.
Do you know who Denis Villeneuve is?
Say that again.
Denis Villeneuve.
No.
He directed Dune, that just came out.
I know Dune.
And Arrival with Jeremy Renner and...
I'm familiar, not seen it, but I know it.
Yeah, it's one of his earlier films. Jake Gyllenhaal, Hugh Jackman, and it's got Paul Dano in it as well. Excellent film.
I like Jeremy Renner too.
Arrival's excellent as well. Denis Villeneuve is actually pretty fucking excellent in terms of a director. He's another one who's fucking phenomenal. But anyway, the Batman. He did do that Jake Gyllenhaal Spider film. Weirdly enough, that film actually has nothing to do with spiders, but I know exactly what she's talking about. It's called Enemy.
I know the one.
I still don't know what Watchmen was. And Watchmen isn't that great because it's just a coming home. Anyway, the Batman. Yeah, everything was real. I fucking hate you, Charlie. That Jake Gyllenhaal Spider movie.
No, I know. I made the joke in my head, but I also knew it was a shit joke, so I didn't say it out loud. Charlie, unfortunately, doesn't have a filter. Or he's being an absolute fucking buffoon and he thinks that's what we were talking about. Actually, it's Charlie. He thinks we're talking about Far From Home. Yes, you're a buffoon.
I wrote the reply before he made that joke. So all in all, I think we can start getting to a close now. So all in all, this film is excellently shot, excellently written, excellently acted, excellently directed, just excellently choreographed. This film is fucking excellent.
Yep. Loved it.
I just think this is probably the best film we've done on Admit One so far. Out of all the things we've watched, this is probably my favourite. On Admit One.
We have done Endgame and No Way Home.
That's true.
Just take those.
They're
into
very
account.
different. They're hard to.
I understand. I'm just yeah. And in
terms of like a.
In about 9-11 weeks, we'll do another one which is potentially up there.
Strange.
No. Maybe 10 weeks. I don't know.
What are you talking about?
Oh, you'll work it out.
No, what? 10 weeks.
You will.
10 weeks. Just under 3 months. Should be June.
Yep.
What the fuck is in June?
You'll work it out in a minute. You'll work it out.
You're not referring to Doctor Strange.
No, you'll work. We'll do a thing in a minute, and then you'll work it out.
I won't work it out.
Yep.
Oh! He's referring to Logan.
Yes.
True. But I would say, I would handle it in terms of like cinematography and lighting and the way these movies were shot is way better than Endgame and No Way Home.
Oh yeah, no, I totally agree. But they're also, as you say, they're totally different.
Completely
types
different
of films.
movies, so it would have been really fucking weird if they were shot
yeah.
like this. Yeah, no, I completely agree.
I think it depends on how you want to class and try and compare.
It's,
but
it's
some of
not
these
even
things-
apples and oranges, it's apples and notepads. Like, I saw a notepad. I was like, I've said apples, I need a follow-up. Notepad.
Anyway,
I forgot we were doing the thing, so I forgot it would be Logan.
Hey, should we talk about the things that we're going to be doing?
Yes. Coming up on the channel. So next week we have episode 100 to celebrate 100 episodes of Admit One. We will be doing that next Saturday, but Tuesday coming up, we will be starting a thing. Pride and Prejudice.
I can't believe you made the same joke. I just wanted to play the clip again because I'm really pleased with that.
Yeah. So we will be starting X-Men. Of course, this is. You've already. Yes, I know, but not everyone watches everything. There are 9 people here. There was no one here last time.
That's how promotion works, Hannah. You have to say things repeatedly. I know you listen, but not everyone does.
I haven't shouted that hard on a podcast in a while. That's mainly why I did it. It's been a while. It wasn't at you, so I apologize.
So to clarify, because we shouted a lot then. So episode 100 is next Saturday. So Rich will be joining us for that one as well.
He will indeed.
And we got some special stuff planned. We're not talking about a particular film. You have no homework to do, but we are talking about the best bits of the show. I'm ignoring that. We're going to talk best bits of the show, favourite moments. We'll have our own favourite moments to put forward. We're going to talk about our favourite things that we've discussed as well, and just it's going to be just a little bit of a party, a bit of fun. Obviously, we'll hope as many of you join us as possible. I'm going to start some promo work on that this week as well. So
we all need to start buying some things.
Yes, but if anyone watching here, obviously make sure you come and join us, and also try and get other people involved as well. Encourage other people around, like we did for Press Start episode 100, because that was really good fun.
Absolutely.
And this will be another level still. And then the Tuesdays going forward for the next 12 weeks.
So many.
Will be the X-Men franchise. Now, I appreciate that this was not met with the euphoria that we expected.
But at the same time, fuck you.
Yes.
No, I jest.
No, I don't. Fuck you. It's our channel. Do what we want. But I think
there'll be some good conversations.
I think there's going to be some really good conversations, and there's also some really good films in these franchises. In this franchise, there are some poor ones, but there are also some.
I did not expect Euphoria.
There are also some really good ones. So there's going to be some really good conversations. We'll have some really good fun with it. I'm really looking forward to talking about things like Deadpool and Logan. I'm really looking forward to actually going back and looking at the first X-Men, which I haven't seen for a very long time. But my memory of seeing it a very long time ago was I really liked it. And obviously superhero movies have come on loads since X-Men. So it's really going to be really interesting to go back and re-watch it. And yeah, it's probably going to be fucking dated. And it's probably going to be tough. But I'm really interested in that. So I'm looking forward to doing those.
I'm looking forward to the possibility of being here and watching them again.
Oh yeah, we'll discuss that.
I just watched it a few hours ago. What, X-Men?
Hey, don't spoil it for anyone.
Don't spoil that 2000 movie.
But then the other announcement.
The week after next, the Saturday after episode 100, we have a gap.
So that will be
of one.
Saturday the 26th.
Saturday the 26th. We have a gap of 1 week. So we've decided, partially because of the response to X-Men, and also just because, it's been 100. That's not the thing. Did I not write it down?
I know them. I can say them.
Hang on, I do know them, but I just thought I'd write it down. I was about to read this.
It's not that.
It's not that.
Read that anyway.
The list I've got is Socks, Fifth Element intro, COVID, and 9/11. Which is the strangest list anyone has ever written down. But But so we are putting forward a vote for the audience on what we do, and we will do whatever is voted
So
for.
yeah, it will be an audience vote, which is going to take place in Discord over the next week or two, week and a bit probably, because we need time to then watch the film. So let's say week, and we announce it on episode 100. We announce the result on episode 100. Fine.
So that list of movies you can vote for, and they are all ones that the audience have mentioned in the past.
Yeah, every film is one that an audience member has mentioned.
Indeed. We've got Jurassic Park. We have got Now You See Me. We've got Legend. And we have Parasite.
Who says we don't give you the content you asked for?
We will put that in the Discord with how to vote and what have you, because otherwise not everyone's here. La-di-da-di-da. That might be on the next vote too. We'll see. We'll see. So we'll put that in the Discord. Everyone can vote away. We'll say how to vote and what have you. We'll keep track. We won't be voting. Rich and Charlie won't be voting. Or if they do, they will be ignored. So the week after next, we will be watching whatever it is you vote on. So vote away when we put it in the Discord. After the show, we'll put it in the Discord.
It'll go up tonight at some point. We'll do that.
It will go up tonight. Katie says, now I'm torn. I want to place a vote for Hannah, but I also want something else. Vote with your heart, whether that's for Hannah.
Now, see, Hannah says that's assuming because you've dangled it, it's never going to get voted in.
I think it will get voted for.
I think it will get
I think
voted
this is going to be the winner, to be honest.
And I don't know about you, but I'm not saying if it doesn't get voted, we'll never do it.
Well, no, some of these movies, we will absolutely do these movies, but it's just whether or not we do it next Saturday. Not next Saturday, the Saturday after. Yeah. So we'll do that, and then on next Saturday's show, we will announce which one it is, even though you'll have known.
I would argue what you really need to do here, Hannah, is you need to go in the Discord and you need to make a case for your film. You need to go. You need to make a case to people to vote for Parasite for you. That's what you need to do.
It's my fault.
We know.
Make your case. Make your case. This was basically the only way Parasite was ever going to get involved in the conversation. The fact that it's if it was a vote. If everyone voted for Parasite, because if it was just a case of let's do Parasite, we could have gone, yeah, but we could have done this. We could do this. We could do this. We could watch School of Rock again. But I think it'll win. I think you need to have faith in your fellow community.
I agree. That's it, Rich.
There you go. There you go. Yeah, get more fans of the Parasite community. Although I do think most people who are holding this movie in high regard do not class us as an acceptable form of entertainment. We are lowbrow trash, I think, is what.
Also, I just want to point out, and I might be pleasantly surprised, but if it wins, I'm saying I'll watch it. I'm not saying I'll like it. Mm-hmm. So just saying.
100%. We're not going to lie and say we like it. So it might be for your birthday. You might be getting us shitting all on this movie. Richard, speak for yourself. What did I say?
I don't know what you said.
I don't know what I said. What have I done?
I'm not sure.
I'm sorry.
Maybe a comment about us not being particularly good at entertaining or something.
Oh, like lowbrow trash is what I call it. Yeah.
Okay.
No, I'm speaking for the entire team.
Yes. It wouldn't be, but I asked Charlie to join. So.
Fair. Anyway, we've still got press start to do, so let's wrap this
There's
up.
nothing to talk about on that. We'll just do 10 minutes ago. Horizon's pretty. Yep.
There's a few bits. There's a few bits. There's stuff to do with Bungie. There's stuff to do with Sony that's happened. So there's a few bits. We'll talk about it in a minute. This has been Admit One, your movie and TV podcast right here on Rabbit Hole Media. If you like what you're doing and what you're doing is watching us, you can follow us on Twitter at @rabbithole_UK. You can subscribe to us on YouTube where you can see us anytime that you wish. You can follow us on Twitch at Rabbit Hole Media, and you can subscribe and follow multiple different podcast services on and around the internet.
Indeed.
See you later, Toom. Thank you for stopping by. Sorry that we completely ruined that movie before you go and watch it.
We gave him chance.
I know. I don't actually feel bad, but
I'm not sorry at all. And now.
What did you say?
And now.
Did you just say indeed?
Yeah. So it's
and now you can follow us on Instagram at Rabbit Hole _UK and on TikTok at Rabbit Hole Media for all the behind the scenes tits and bits. If you'd like to support us, head to merch.rabbitholemedia for a wide range of merchandise that will only get wider. And finally, if you are watching us live on Twitch and are an Amazon Prime member, you get one free Twitch Prime membership a month. Please find it within your hearts to give that membership to us. It doesn't cost you a penny, but goes a very long way in helping us bring you the shows that you love.
Are you insinuating that I'm the wide range of merchandise?
No, I'm obviously insinuating that your shirt is among the merchandise.
Oh, just checking.
I'm only going to go, we're making these Batman shirts.
Oh, no, that would be highly illegal if we did.
Yeah.
Rich says, sorry to those who turned up the other day for Cuphead and got annoyed me. I mean, they turn up every other week to get annoyed me and Jack, so...
This is true. This is true. A beast! As mentioned, yes, we will be right back in mere moments. A few minutes for Press Start, our weekly video game podcast. It will probably be much shorter than this was.
Absolutely will be, because I don't know what there is to talk about. You said there's some things.
There are some things. Yeah, there's a couple of things.
All right,
a couple of bits.
Oh, there's a Gotham...
Yeah, exactly. There's a couple of bits. Nothing major, but there's a couple of bits we can run through. New games. I can talk about Turismo.
Oh, fuck me, yeah. What?
So stick around. We will be talking about things and stuff in the video game world. But otherwise, thank you very much for watching. Do your homework and watch X-Men. Is another reason we picked it is everything is free for you now. Like there isn't any of this potentially having to rent this, do that, buy this, whatever. Everything's free on Disney Plus. It's all streamable. So, and I checked because at first on Disney Plus it wasn't all the X-Men movies, but now it is. Even Deadpool and Logan because of Star. So we shall see you next time.